Greetings, all humans, and welcome to another Tea with JD. This is going to be one of those quick videos, just to get to the point, because, it's cool to ramble, but sometimes it's good to be more direct. So, to quote Shatner, or his voice, how do you know when a story is ready? If it's your first story, poem, novel, whatever, that's going to be the hardest. You will second guess, you will question, you will wonder, and you will keep delaying the inevitable. If you see Sideways, the movie, that's a good example of what second guessing can get you. A lot of frustration and not much else. Eventually, you'll have to pull the trigger and go for it, and publish and share it with someone, be it a friend, a beta reader, or publishing. I remember when I finished Only Human. When I finished Only Human and when I finished publishing Only Human are two very different things. I finished writing the book on longhand. I started transcribing, which was fun. 164,000 words transcribed from step one. You learn to not do that ever again. But still, it happened. Then editing, then giving it to two people to read, then editing some more, then publishing. It's an intense ride, and not necessarily a pleasant one. But eventually I got to the point where I read the story and I said, this is good enough for me. My conscience is at ease that I'm publishing this. I'm still nervous, I'm still scared, but at least I know that I gave as much as I could. That's very different from other people. If you look at music, some artists can pump out an album in 2 days. They have the set mind, they've rehearsed the songs, they go into the studio, boom, boom, out, done. And then you have Peter Gabriel, who's worked on a song for like a decade. A song, a decade. And you see the nuances, and it's beautiful, and little details, because that's what drives him. And it's not that he's an example to follow, it's that he's doing his thing. And you have to do your thing. Maybe you are more comfortable with a more rough version of your story. Maybe you need it more polished, but eventually you have to tell yourself to do it, to go for it, and that's gonna be the hardest step ever. Trust me. Because what if people don't like it? What if there are 1,000, a million, billion, gazillion what ifs? And you can drown in them. So instead of doing that, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? That people don't like it, but you did it? You're already ahead of the curve. You're already ahead of the competition. You did it. You finished it. But a couple of signs to know if your story is not ready. If you reread it and you find 3 typos in the first paragraph, it's not done. You gotta put it back in the oven, you gotta edit some more, you gotta proofread some more. If grammar is not your cup of tea, get someone who is high on grammar. Ask for help. I know what it's like to not want to ask for help. Still, ask for help. We're stubborn. Ask for help. If you read it and you see that there's a plot hole that even you notice, you still have to fix it. I remember writing Only Human. I saw that something in chapter 22 was not syncing in with something in chapter 38. That was a rough day. I yelled at myself. I was just so frustrated. It was just stupid. But I got over it. And then I reread and adjusted and reread and adjusted and reread and found that it was connecting. Cool. So, grammar, a lot of grammar mistakes from the get-go. And also, you have to, after you proofread it, you have to proofread it in reverse, because if you're doing the proofreading, you will get fatigued. And by the end of it, you stop seeing mistakes just because you're tired. It's a very normal thing that happens. So, proofread, proofread. Make sure there's no plot holes, because plot holes suck. Some are interesting story dynamics, and other things are just sloppy writing. And finally, uh, when you start coming up with silly excuses not to publish, that's the moment to give it a go. Luckily, I found my moment. Luckily, I've been forgiven a couple of typos. But I pulled the trigger, and I am forever happy that I did. So here's hoping that you take that leap of faith and go for it and write your heart out. Peace, love, and maki rolls.